welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, I'm Derick. I'm a front-end developer based out of Los Angeles, and today I'm continuing my series called Method Mondays, where I go over every array method there is in JavaScript. And next up on our list for today is sort. So let's just hop into our editor and get right into it. All right, sort. It arranges the elements of an array in place and returns the sorted array. It does mutate the original array rather than returning a new one, so something to keep in mind. It does convert elements to strings and sorts them lexicographically, so basically in just dictionary order. And it's super powerful because you can pass it a compare function to define custom sorting behavior. This is especially great for numbers. So let's look at our first example and let's sort strings alphabetically. So we've got const fruits here, just banana, apple, cherry. Let's take fruits down here and hit it with our sort method. And then let's just log it to the console and see what we get. And okay, we get apple, banana, cherry. So things have been sorted lexicographically, or basically just in dictionary order. We started with banana, which starts with a B, then apple, which is an A, and then cherry, which is a C, but it sorted them down here in alphabetical order. So pretty handy. Okay, next, let's sort some numbers in ascending order with the compare function. And again, this comes built into the sort method. So let's say we have an array of numbers here. We'll just call it scores. And it's just some random scores. Let's take scores and hit it with our sort method. Then let's get our skeleton for our compare function in here. So something to note, I can type it like this, but since all this function is going to do is return something, I can do the condensed version and just get everything on one line here. Sort's compare function takes in A and B as parameters. And then the work I want this function to do is to just take A and then minus B from it. And what sort's compare function does is basically just determine the order of any two elements, which is A and B. And how it does that is the method loops through the array and repeatedly compares pairs of elements using this compare function. And each pair of values in your array is basically like two contestants, and the judge here is the compare function itself, and it basically just decides who should come first in line. So we have our array of numbers here. These are our contestants per se, and this is the work that's going to be performed on those contestants. So the outcome of A minus B is basically if the result is negative, put A in front of B. If the result is positive, put B in front of A. And if the result is 0, it basically is just like either can go. And it just keeps doing this repeatedly until every element is in its right spot. So now let's log scores to the console and see if this works and see what we actually get. And nice, here's our result down here. We've got everything in order from our lowest score of 1 all the way up to 100. So sort's compare function does this in ascending order. But now, of course, what about the opposite? Say you want, instead of ascending order, say you want descending order. Simply just swap A and B like this, and now we have descending order. So it starts with the highest score, which is 100, and then goes all the way down to the lowest score, which is 1. So this could definitely come in handy at like a job interview or something like that, but that is sort's built-in compare function. I'm just going to put this back to A minus B. And for our last example, let's sort objects by a numeric property. So let's say we have an array of objects here. This is just a person object, name and age as the keys. And let's say we want to use sort to tap into the age keys value here and sort by their age. So this will be a little bit similar to the previous example, but we can take users, we can type that down here. We can hit it with our sort method. Let's get our compare function in there. We're going to type everything on one line so we don't need curly braces, because all this is going to do is just implicitly return something. Sort's compare function, of course, takes that A and B parameter, and the work we want to do is take A's dot age property, so tap down into that key in that object minus b.age. Now this should work. Let's see what we get. Let's log this to the console. Type users, and it returned us our array. Let's open this up and see what we get. And since we used A minus B, we're going to go for that ascending order, not descending. And we get Bob, who is the youngest, age 20, then 25, then Alice, who is 30. So that's ascending order by age, because we tapped into the age key here in those objects. So it's just going to return us the sorted array in ascending order by the age. So that's going to do it for sort. Hopefully this helps, devs. I will link the code down in the description below. If you found this helpful, definitely like this video, and I will catch you in the next one. Take care.